Well, I guess this is as good a place as any to start the vlog. Man, my nose itches. Oh, and my visor is broken. I've got a new one on order, but we'll see. I've been so congested all day. Get my visor hooked back in. I've actually been riding for about 40 minutes now just to get to the spot where I wanted to do the vlog. So I just turned off the bike for a second so that I could sync up my audio and my video. And now we're going to see if we can head into the park. What is going on, guys? It's Wednesday. I was all bright-eyed, bushy-tailed in the morning, like 7 a.m. I was actually up at like 4 a.m. Decided that I wanted to go on this ride yesterday, actually, because some people told me about where to go and how to get up there. So it took me about 45 minutes to get to this spot. And I should be entering the South Mountain Park here in a second. I've been over here, so taking these roads. These are some twisty roads. I'm taking them very cautiously, obeying all the signs and everything. Oh, maybe I have to pay to get in here. I hope not. Don't be a victim. Please do not leave valuables in your vehicle. Report any suspicious activity to the Phoenix Police Department. Okay, so there's nobody there. So I'm just going to keep heading this way. These speed bumps are kind of obnoxious. That's like the first thing that I'll say about. There's like speed bumps every freaking 100 feet. That's annoying. Let's see if I can go around them. Hopefully the camera angle is better. Anyway, so I'm still doing the audio with my phone, but I've got it clipped on better. I think I said that already. Hopefully this video angle is good. I might play around with a couple of different angles. I think this is the best one that I can. I have all the mounting equipment to actually mount right now. I have more mounts in the mail, so hopefully those will be in soon. This is kind of cool. This is a restroom here. Man, I was hoping there wouldn't be that many people here. Hoping there wouldn't be that many people here because it's a Wednesday in the morning. We will see. 25 miles per hour roads are not really where this bike shines. Coming out to my parents about the fact that I have a motorcycle again, little bit, and so I kind of want to talk a little bit about, you know, might as well in this same video talk about a little bit of the safety precautions of riding motorcycles and the things that I plan to do this time that I did not do last time. And one is maintenance on my bike. I'm in a much better place now where I can actually do the proper maintenance on my motorcycle, whereas before I had to do a lot of things by myself. I had to do a lot of things jerry-rigged and things like that. It is not something that's going to happen on this bike because it is a safety hazard, I think, to be doing that. So, oh, that curve wasn't nearly as tight as I thought it was going to be. Sounds like there's a twisty here. Try to get some slow down. So yeah, maintenance is one thing. Another thing that I'm definitely going to be doing this time that I really didn't focus on a whole lot last time is ATGATT, riding ATGATT, all the gear all the time. That's going to be super important to me. Come up on these guys here. And that was not really a thing for me last time. But this time I'm a little bit older, a little bit more responsible. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be riding all the gear all the time. Making sure that I always have gloves. It's actually more comfortable for me to ride with all the gear. You know, and when I mean all the gear all the time, I'm talking good shoes, good motorcycle boots, at least jeans. Like denim is not really great on the asphalt if you do crash or you have to, you know, if you get all scraped up or something like that. Denim's not the best to be in, but definitely good shoes. At least denim, if not some good motorcycle pants. Right now I don't have any motorcycle pants, but I'll probably be getting some pretty soon. And I'm going to wear them as often as I do rides like this, at least, where I come out and all day long I'm pretty much planning on riding my bike and not really doing much else. Oh man, this little twisty is awesome. Man, these twisties are fun. Even at these very slow speeds for me, I like going slow speed cruising and just really working on my technique. And really driving, like this bike, I have to drive a little bit more with my left hand than my right because I'm trying to maintain a really light grip on the throttle. Ooh, chipmunk. I'm trying to maintain a really light grip on the throttle because it has so much torque. So I'm trying to get some good lines going through here in these twisties. And this bike is actually really fun to do this with. Oh yeah, that wasn't the best line ever. To downshift a little bit, to go a little bit slower. That wasn't the best line I've ever done before. Here, I'll exit this turn. Man, this is some pretty technical road up here. This is some really technical road. Very tight spaces. Not something that you can do super fast. The other thing is I can't really look around at the scenery very much because I'm so focused on these really technical turns. I'm also not really talking about the topic that I said I was going to talk about because, again, I'm focusing on the super technical turns and being really careful with them. I'm also just taking it super slow right now. Have some hikers out here, a lot of bicyclists out here. Not very many cars, which I am glad for. If I screw up a line and go into the other lane or something like that, I'm not really worried that there's going to be a ton of cars out here. See, as soon as I say that, one's right there. So yeah, especially in these twisties on the bike, you just got to be super careful of the cars. So anyway, all the gear all the time, I already said that. And then not driving reckless. So I was looking up some statistics, and I'll pull those out right now. But yeah, I was looking up statistics that something like, actually not something like, but absolutely, 92% of motorcyclists that are involved in fatal accidents have never taken formal motorcycle ride training. So they are learning with the learning with the permit style learning techniques, where you get a permit and you slow way down. Yeah, that was not a great line either. That was a lot tighter turn than I thought it was going to be. These people are riding with basically no training, no safety training. And the way I see motorcycle riding is it's very similar to firearm safety. Motorcycle safety and firearm safety are very similar in that if you follow all the rules and you do everything right, your chances of being involved in a serious or even fatal accident go down substantially. Substantially, they go down. So 92% of fatal accidents occur when a rider has had no formal training, i.e. they're learning from their parents, or something of that nature. Where do I want to go? Dobbins Lookout, that's where I want to go. So they've learned how to ride, yikes, from their friends and their family members and stuff, and they haven't actually taken the MSF class. 92% of motorcyclists involved in fatal accidents. Here's another interesting statistic. 60% of fatal accidents, the cyclist was not wearing a helmet. In 73% of fatal accidents, the cyclist was not wearing any type of eye protection. So maybe they were wearing a partial helmet. Oh man, look at this. Oh, this is cool.
The most important thing in the world to me is family. I was talking to my sister last night, and I said and still believe there's nothing else more important to me than having a good relationship with my family. I would, give up anything. I would stop eating if it meant that was the thing that was keeping me from having a good relationship with my family. Now, luckily, I've had a good relationship with my family for a long time. We have our kind of differences and disagreements and things like that. But I know that there's nothing that I would ever do that they would write me off. Nothing in the world that I would ever do that they would just write me off and quit talking to me or quit having that good relationship with me. Part of having a good relationship with my family means that they have to have a relationship with me. The real me, the one that exists in the real world and not in some fabricated world that, that's what they think I am, or, where I go and I pretend to be something that I'm not. And that's who they have a relationship with, whereas the real me is over here. So what it ends up getting to is, we're talking about how to break to your parents that you are riding a motorcycle knowing that they are not keen on the idea. And one of the ways, I guess, is to show them this. This area, this place, I would never have seen it. And the adventure that thrives in my soul needs to have an outlet. It needs to have a place that I can take all of that energy and put it into riding. That's the only thing that I can do. And I don't know if you can explain to your parents in any way. I was watching some of the other videos, Do It With Dan. I think YummyR6 has a video about trying to get your parents to let you buy a motorcycle. The reality is they're never going to understand if they're not riders themselves. They're never going to understand the connection that you have to riding motorcycles and how much it speaks to your soul to be able to be on a bike. But that doesn't mean that you stop trying to explain to them why you do this. Especially in my family, it's particularly difficult because we have a history of a family member passing away in a vehicle collision, and I think that a lot of times my family doesn't think that affects me, or they think that that doesn't change the way that I do things, but it definitely does. It's been very central in my life. It's been a very central, pivotal moment, even though it happened long before I was born. It still played a very pivotal role in my life, the way that it is now, the things that I do now, because my family had that experience. My attention to safety while I'm driving my vehicle, my attention to safety and wearing my seatbelt all the time. I do not drive if I've had even a drop of alcohol. There isn't really a direct way to deal with any of this stuff. It's just kind of the way life is. Sometimes parents don't want kids to get motorcycles, and kids are out there getting motorcycles. That's just how it goes. Ride all the gear all the time. Gloves, jacket, helmet, sunglasses, everything. Hopefully I'll explain a little bit in this video what I mean by all the gear all the time, because I don't know if I got through it on the ride up or on the ride back, because some of those twisties are super technical, and trying to ride the twisties is kind of new for me. Look at the view, look at where we are. It's a place I'd never gotten in a car.
Might have to get off to pull it back. Oh man, I hope I'm not behind this car the whole way down. We'll give him a little bit of room. I'm definitely just taking these super slow. You have to have an incredibly light hand on the throttle on this bike because it is extremely fast. Gripping the tank with my knees. Trying to work on my lines. Using some engine braking. A little bit too low with my engine there. Kind of dragging the back brake a little bit on the way downhill. I don't know if that's a good technique or a poor technique. The rear brake, at least. I don't want to give it too much front brake, so I'm trying to keep my suspension set up for the rear. And just like always, whenever you're on the twisties in these back roads and stuff, you never want to ride beyond your skill level. My skill level on this bike, at least, is like level 0. Level 0. People say there's no such thing as level 0 on a leader bike. Yeah, I know. I just haven't ridden this bike that much, especially in twisties and stuff like that, and this like super technical roads. I am enjoying it a whole lot. It's definitely nerve-wracking, even at slow speeds, to be riding into twisties like this, especially with oncoming cars and whatnot, stuff like that. You just have to be very boom, there's a guy in a supermoto, and he waved like a freaking gentleman. hate it when people don't wave, especially when we're out here like this. I don't know. Some people just don't. Like, I don't know what it is. This was a super tight turn, I remember. And your throttle control is super important on these twisties. And I'm not really drawing the best lines here. I want to be right here on this one. Come back in on this side. Now I kind of want to go to the outside and then try to cut in. That was a pretty good one. Not bad at all. Man, this is freaking fun, but it's also super tense. Slow way down on this one. I just don't remember what's beyond this point. Coming around blind curves like this, it's always a good idea to be slow. Ooh, I know this one's super tight. Oh, no, it's not. I think it's the next one that's really tight. And long, it's like a really long curve. So I'm just going to take it real slow again, driving mostly with my left hand, steering, pulling with my left hand in order to go to the right, and pushing to go left. Ooh, that was not bad. Right about to the edge of that that corner is how I took that. That was pretty good. I definitely don't like to push speed back in these canyon-y type roads. Yeah, that was not a fantastic one. It was kind of wobbly in that corner. Okay. So I'll be on the outside of this one so that I can be on the inside of this one. Now come to the outside. Lot of brake. Again, I'm only going like 30 miles an hour on these, but they're very technical climbs. Come to the outside of this one and then come back in. Man, I'm not even that bent over. To the inside of this curve. Man, that was a pretty good curve. Starting the outside of this one. And then throttle out. That was a pretty good curve. Man, I'm getting better at these twisties. Getting better. Mostly I'm working on my throttle control, dragging the rear brake a little bit because I'm going downhill, and I'm also working on drawing really good lines. I'm gonna kind of be to the outside of this one. These consecutive twisties are the... Well, I'm gonna slow down for this one. Consecutive twisties are the tough ones. See that one? I kind of misjudged a little bit, came a little bit off to the side. Slow way down when I see a car, but I'm not slamming on my front brake when I see a car, especially in the curves, because if I do that, I'm gonna have issues. Just when I see a car, really controlling my throttle and then dragging a little bit on that rear brake to slow me down a little bit if I need to. Super tough. This is like my first time real twisty on a big bike that really has the power to crank out the twisties. You know, riding a little 250 back in here was no issue at all. But this bike takes a lot more control. Looks like we've got some cyclists. This bike takes a lot more control to do the twisties with. I always wave to cyclists if I can. They're good people, cyclists. One thing that I gotta look out for on this Bandit is if I have my foot in the shifter position, I'll actually drag my foot before my peg starts dragging. So that's kind of lame. I think that guy was on a Gixxer. First bike I had, I was a commuter, and it was definitely more like a, you know, I was like a street warrior rather than a canyon carver. So, you know, I'm trying to expand my horizons a little bit. Again, the more you practice in areas like this, super technical turns and stuff like that, the better you're going to get in the roads and in the streets, being able to swerve around people and stuff like that. So again, but I think the fastest I went all day long here was like 30 miles an hour or something like that. This time around, I'm also not going to be a commuter. I'm going to be a weekend warrior. I'm not a street warrior, but a weekend warrior. That's I never liked the term commuter. I always liked the term like street warrior